clown me or not have no empathy for it. So it's like a lot of men, I just feel like you got to go through something as far as just you failed at a relationship and this is where you at. And you feel me? Now you know for next time.
Yeah. And then, I mean, even with that, it's like, as a man, like, we be putting ourselves, we be setting our own self-sabotaging situations, and then we still being crying about it in silence, knowing like, bro, like, come on, man.
I ain't doing nothing about it.
You know the position you put Shorty in, different things that was going down. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely a lot of growing pains, man.
I think that's why it take men so long to mature, cause we don't like we shoot at women about it, but we don't take accountability too. It just be on a different like aspect of it, cause when we do something, we kind of like throw a rock and hide our hand. Like, well, why you trying to leave me now? Like, nah, you was wilding out. Like, she leaving for a good reason. Like, you feel me? And then it be like, even kids. I don't think you need to have kids like you need to have a heartbreak, but kids teach you another lesson too. I don't got kids, but I had to take care of kids like they was mine, and just seeing that, like, oh, I would never want you doing that, or I would never want you in that situation. Like, it's certain stuff, behaviors that I'm gonna let you know you can't accept that from the opposite sex or from your friends or whatever. Like, but you gotta kind of just see that to know.
I do not recommend having children until not at all, but kind of at all. But like, I guess for me, just becoming a teen parent, becoming a teen mom, I was not ready to raise anyone. You know what I'm saying? No matter how much you love a person, like I love my daughter with all my heart, but I did not have the tools to raise her properly. So there was a lot of mistakes made. And now when she does things, it's like, well, you really wasn't equipped. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like y'all grow up together. But then also just being responsible for another human life. Like whatever happens to that person, it's on you. I don't care how old your kid gets. You know what I'm saying?
Now enjoying your own life can directly result in the pro or the con of their life. So like, that's something a lot of, you already rolling? I was going to ask y'all though, I'm glad you brought that up, because we spoke about like when y'all was younger, the misconceptions y'all had about the age y'all at now. What do y'all think that y'all could have done better at the age y'all were, like to get y'all in a better position now? Like what y'all think y'all could have changed in y'all's early, the early years, still learning, still growing, like what you think you could have refrained from doing, what you wish you would have might have done?
I would say thinking you gotta always have a bunch of sex. I mean, I guess for me, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, like she always tries to sound like I'm a ladies man, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not, you know what I'm saying? But I guess what I'm saying is, man, the culture that we live in, you know what I'm saying, is very messed up, man. It's really a death culture, you know what I'm saying? But when you come to, you sharing your body a lot all the time, and you get all these different attachments to different people, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, it can hinder a lot within you.
It's a distraction.
It's way more, but it's more than a distraction, because sex is natural. We naturally need to have sex. We're supposed to. We were made to. But it's like,
when that's number one priority, and you
it's a
put
distraction.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot, man. Especially, you know what I'm saying? Because then what happens is you connect your life to someone else's life. You don't know nothing about them, they people, vice versa. There's troubles and traumas, what they healing from, what they, you know what I mean, why they got trauma. And then it's like, you know, now you force to try to heal each other if y'all decide to really lock in with each other. You know what I'm saying? But if not, it's like you just keep passing your body around, and we live in a small city. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
my thing that I noticed, like I was just telling Keon, I don't be knowing how to, like, I don't be trying to lead women on or nothing like that, but I don't necessarily know how to set the parameters. Like, this is just that, it'll never be this. You know, like I'm too nice or I'm too cool. And that's a skill that you have to develop as a grown man. And I'm sitting here realizing it that I don't have that skill, but I'm still out here doing what I'm doing. Like, and I ain't saying it's right, but
I seen I'm gonna put y'all on to this one cat I listen to. He probably like late 40s, early 50s. You know what I'm saying? A lot of great content that blow y'all's mind. It'll have y'all. It'll give y'all a lot of topics for what y'all doing at y'all's age. But when you see a woman, you can only put her in one or two categories. Either she pleasure or she purpose. That's it. That's that.
That's
you
powerful.
you gotta put like this. You gotta. Whenever you're around a young lady and you feel that vibe or that energy, you gotta put her where she gotta be. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And sometimes it may take long for you. It may take a while for you to put her there based on conversation or based on whatever time y'all sharing. But she could only go in one or two categories.
I like that you put it like that because in the mind frame of most young men that's thinking about fornicating all the time, you kind of put them in the same category all the time, and you think like, oh, women ain't gonna help me get to the next level business wise or in terms of success. But women do be serving that purpose if you can kind of get to the root or the foundation of who they is. You can see how they can help you for real, but we don't be having that skill.
You gotta ask yourself this question in this chess game of life we playing. Who's the powerful piece on the board? Who got the most power on the board? It's the queen. She moving everywhere directions. She go in rooms you can't go. She could go sit with other kings, discuss war. You know, and then come back to you like this. What they was talking about. This what happened, dude. You know, I got a bad vibe from dude. Like, don't do business with him. You know, or she could help seal the deal. The king can only move like a pawn, but you gotta send her out there, bro. You gotta send her out. You know what I mean? So you, as you playing chess in life, now she serves a major purpose for you, and she can help you explode that business. You know what I'm saying? But if you got a chessboard with no queen, and your opponent got a queen, you
got a knife at a gunfight.
Bro, me personally, I still feel like it's the balance. Like, even though I feel it, the queen, don't get me wrong, like, even like in bee culture, because I'm a big fan of beehives and shit like that.
Yeah.
And like, the queen is everything. Like, if the queen go, the hive get all fucking up. It's like 500 bees in the hive. But like, I still feel like in society, I think they're taking that away from us, and they're like marketing it. So like, for example, like everything, like you said, everything is true. Like, true love is what we all want. But it's like, since in society, a woman knows like, all right, I may like this guy, but I can go to the club and find 2 Chainz or something. You know what I mean? So like, now like society is low-key fucking up our minds and shit. And I don't know. I just feel like
Hearing that,
So you saying that to say what though?
I mean, I'm really trying to say
What you
like,
saying?
I'm not trying to say queen runs everything, but I'm trying to say like, I think they use that to
Listen,
manipulate
so
us.
check out what I'm
saying-
check- Go ahead, babe.
No, cause you was about to say something.
I was just gonna ask you what you thought about that, and how you would answer the question that I had asked both of y'all. Like, how do you think you could have went about that differently, knowing that women have that power and you can pioneer a certain level of success or take away from it? Like, how would you have moved different in your earlier days?
Got you. Okay, so I want to go back to you for a second, because what I heard was he's guarded.
That's what I was trying to pull
Yes,
out. Go ahead.
that's what I heard.
What y'all mean by guarded?
Like, I could snatch me up a queen, right? But she could always go to a club and find somebody with more money or more status, and be unloyal. Exactly. Use whatever she see out here in the world and be like, okay, I don't want you no more. I want this.
It's a lot of us that's guarded. I'm gonna say that.
Think about the culture of Black people. What is our culture? What's the only thing that really makes up our culture?
Like,
Cookout.
Music. Music is our only culture. So the women that you're thinking about is the women that's promoted in the music, from the male's perspective and from the female perspective, because all our female artists are talking about being fuck nigga free, being, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so in your mind, it's literally been programmed to think that I don't necessarily want to get in a relationship because it's a bunch of hot girls out here.
But you gotta know how to read them though, cause it ain't all just hot girls. It's just girls that be in the crib.
But he guarded.
But he don't. But I ain't.
Cause that's what he just said. Like basically, why would I go get a queen when possibly this could happen?
And your rebuttal to that is like once he get a queen, you feel
Well,
like,
I mean that's what he just said. You gotta what category?
This the thing. You gotta be equipped as a king, and that's the thing. It's like even if you go to checkers, you can't get king me. You ain't. You gotta polish shoes before you become a boss. You know what I'm saying? There's a certain what you call, if you want to call it, rites to passage. Like we was in the Boy Scouts, or we were young men raised up learning how to hunt and fish and gather. Right? Like every young man is not equipped. First of all, T.J. Kirkland, I think was on DJ Black. He said, "Nigga, you ain't got 20,000 saved, you shouldn't be having sex, bro. If you don't have $20,000 saved up, you should not even be allowed to have sex with a woman. Period."
You agree with that?
I do. At my age now.
I don't.
Hey, shout out to you for getting him a
wait.
mic. Hey, I wanted to be known. You said you gotta polish shoes before you
become a boss.
before you could put them on.
This is the thing, though.
It's just,
Go ahead. I
I'm
don't want to cut you
saying,
off.
are you ready to take care of a family? Are you ready to take care of a family? Why? I mean, we just gonna be real. Like, fucking these chicks. Like, what's the point of fucking is to get her pregnant? Like, are you ready to take? Are you ready to marry her? Are you ready to take care of her and be her new dad? Then be the dad for your offspring.
Nah, that's real.
That's real shit, bro. Like, so what happens is you're not ready for that. So now you can't find the queen to do what? To catastrophe you to whatever you're going because you ain't the king yet. She can't king you. She can't say, "This is my king. I admire him." You know what I'm saying? It's more so like he made me feel good. We go to dinner. I mean, we kick it a little bit. You know, you might hit the blunt and stuff. I feel good when I'm with him. But this nigga ain't gonna protect me.
Beyond what you was about to say,
I was literally thinking this earlier. Like the reason I wouldn't get in a relationship right now is because I'm not ready to lead a woman. Like, I'm still trying to learn how to lead myself. But I still think you can.
That you should date.
And have sex. Yeah, but smart. Be smart about it.
Okay, y'all don't think that we should have sex, but what about dating? Because you gotta get familiar with women and just at least knowing what's in the air out there or ingratiating yourself.
In my personal opinion, this goes back to the culture, right? I'm gonna keep going back to the culture because I feel like we are jacked up as a people because of the culture. But it's like when you think about being in a relationship with someone, right? Like, what are the core values that you're thinking about? Because if he's saying you gotta have $20,000 in the bank, I don't necessarily know if I would want that woman as a man because she only wants me because of what I have.
He's not saying that. I don't know what he's saying, but how I interpreted it was this. It ain't even about the 20,000.
It's a level of financial.
Well, I understand.
It's a level of security within you
and discipline too.
Discipline, right?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, a man is always supposed to be purpose first. You're supposed to have the garden first, then Eve comes.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, the 20K just represents your garden. This is y'all's garden, right? This establishment, right? This is y'all's baby. This is the garden that y'all tending to. You already have purpose. Now you can invite the woman. So it ain't necessarily about a dollar amount or she's looking at me for what I got. It's about do you have knowledge yourself? Do you know your purpose? You know what I'm saying? Your purpose is actually supposed to be come first before her.
Mm-hmm.
And she comes in and say, hey, we could do this and this to make it better.
But I think somebody might hear that don't have sex or unless you got 20,000 and think I need money.
That's very radical, right?
Woman.
But
Yeah,
What about women that because you got I think what you said was that's powerful. What about the women that's not looking for money? What should they look for that show a man that they Because some women, they not really like gold diggers, but they do want a man that's financially secure because it do show them discipline and that they got control, that they're ambitious. So if it's not money that women are looking for, what should they be looking for in a man that show them the qualities that they want a man to have?
I feel like that's going to come from the conversation.
Okay.
You know what I mean? How he is, what type of quality a man is he? How does he treat you? You know, what is his vision? What is his purpose? Find out, the Bible says, he who finds a wife finds a good thing. So that means, what can I add on to him that's going to help him achieve what he was put on this earth to do? Because the money is going to come. If you find a girl, and like I keep going back to the culture, but it's like everything promotes gold digging, right? Or
Talk
even
about it.
guys promoting dropping a bag on a woman. They dropped a whole list of you can't take a girl to Cheesecake Factory. Like, our first date was at Applebee's for like happy hour.
No Applebee's slander, no Cheesecake Factory. We not doing it. Shout out to Red
Period.
Lobster. I don't know if y'all really closing, but
Right.
I hit this girl up. I was trying to take her to the park. She said,
park?
I'll see. I said, it's cool, don't even trip.
How
Don't
much
even
the
worry
park
about
cost?
it.
But that's good too. Like, as soon as you see them signs, like, yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and move on. Keep it pushing, because you don't have time to waste. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to kill time with people like that.
as a woman, because I don't want to forget, but as a woman, in your earlier ages, is there anything you feel like you could have went back and done better, or you could have just done better from the jump?
Oh my gosh, yes. Was I ready to be a wife? Absolutely not.
Let me ask you this: Are women at the young age, are they just as worried or concerned with sex as men are?
Yeah.
Okay, because we look at it like we ferocious, like like we out here just on the prowl, and women don't be wanting that. But our idea of it is really flawed for real.
I think it depends on the woman. You know what I mean? Like, when you talk about, in my mind, what I thought a wife was back then was just, can I be loyal to him? I wasn't thinking about, can I be his peace? Can I be his help? Can I, make him a better person? I just thought, well, I just be faithful, and we love each other, and we have sex, and we have kids, and we live in a house, and we go to work. And it was very like surface level. You know what I mean? So I think that a lot of times there's a lot of responsibility put on the man, and there's not necessarily a lot of responsibility put on the woman.
Did you start your career?
Wait, before you ask
Okay,
that,
go ahead,
we got to introduce her.
Shout out to Credit. You can introduce yourself, actually.
I'm Ciera Frazier.
Shout out to Ciera Frazier. Thank you for being here as well.
Yes, for sure. I don't know what type of introduction you want.
Just who you are, what you do.
Who you are, what you do, for sure.
I'm Ciera Frazier. I am co-founder of Minorities Making Millions. I'm a mother. I'm a wife. I'm a boss.
Big C.
Not the little one.
Big C. How did you get started? Because I was going to ask you, in the course of life, did love come first, or did your business come first?
Love came first. So growing up, that was like a goal of mine. I didn't have a goal of necessarily like becoming an entrepreneur or becoming a business owner or anything like that. I just wanted to be somebody, something. I don't even necessarily know if wife was a good word to use, because growing up, I just kind of seen relationships, and I just knew I wanted to be in one, but I didn't see a lot outside of that. So I didn't have a lot of expectations for my life coming up. So relationship definitely came first. And then the business came. How far into the relationship you think the business came?
Specifically FCS?
No, just when we started dabbling in entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
I would say 3 years in.
Yeah,
3 years in marriage.
But the relationship, you would say, inspired you to become an entrepreneur, and that really might not have been a focus of yours before that.
Yeah, he always was entrepreneur driven. I wasn't.
Okay.
I was like, look, you need a job, I need a job.
She was a hustler and a grinder. I just think she just did. She had to find
s-
herself.
Yeah.
What that target was.
Mm-hmm.
But mentally, I just was trained to think like I just need to be his wife, and then I have these children, so I just need to be their mom. And I didn't necessarily know who I was or what I was supposed to do.
You
I
said
knew that.
you got a young girl, right? My fault.
Yeah, all our daughters are.
Okay.
I mean, all our kids are girls.
Okay.
Yeah,
You could go
but
ahead.
I knew like from a young age, like God had put something special inside of me. Like I always.
It's a feeling.
Yeah, like you just when you know, you know.
You know, God.
So like I always wanted to like open up a homeless shelter. Like I've always felt drawn to like homeless people. Like days that it's real cold outside, I'd be like, man, I know it's people outside right now. You know what I'm saying? Like
And before, when you was young, because I'll be catching myself doing that now. I used to ride by the homeless and be thinking the worst stuff that you unspeakable things. And now I'll be like, man, I hope they make it home safe. Or like, you feel me? Like my whole
There's good
perspective
and bad
changed.
ones, bro. It'd be the ones that out here tweaking, and then there's ones that you really like. Dang, I know you need some help. I wish I
Yeah.
could really help you, bro. But
and even when they tweaking, they need help.
Yeah,
No,
because
that's true,
that be
but-
my
but
thing.
You
I'll
can't help
be
a tweet.
You
help a
can't,
tweet.
but like, you got people like my dad was a drug addict. You know what I'm saying? So you got people who struggle with addiction, and that's a form of mental health, also because some people have addiction issues because they have mental health issues and they're self-medicating. So I mean, it's so many different reasons why
Man.
people end up homeless, but I've kind of seen that my entire life of just him kind of staying with my mom or staying with my grandma or being in a homeless shelter or being in a rehab facility or, you know what I'm saying? Things like that to where it's like, sometimes he be tweaking, but for the most part, like he a good person.
When I see like kind of what you speaking about is like, you kind of become a product of your environment. Like you see that, so you become that. But for you was seeing that, but you didn't become that.
Nah.
So what would you think like separated you like?
Man, what? First of all, when you watch somebody struggle with a crack addiction, you don't want to hit a blunt. Like, you don't want to do anything that might even contribute to that a little bit.
Cause you see how it's like affecting them.
Yeah, because I mean, as a young kid, I was his therapist. So like when he would go out, like he would get his paycheck and he'll tell me the night before, like, I'm nervous to get paid. I'm talking about you talking to a 6-year-old little girl.
And I was
Like-
going to ask you that too, not to take away from your story, but have you ever, because you do credit repair, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever had somebody in that position come to you to try to get help? Like they might be an addict or they might be struggling with some vice of theirs and they want you to get them on the right path as far as finances.
Yeah and no. See, I have a low tolerance.
Okay.
Like, I'm only going to do so much for you. And I'll give you the shirt off my back. But, like, I'm not going to keep doing this if you're not serious about helping yourself. So, I think for me, people come to me in that position and I help them. But at the end of the day, like, I just always find myself getting frustrated. So, I don't like getting attached to people's situation. Like, don't tell me what you got going on. Like, let me just help you how I want to help you. But I don't need you calling me every time you need something. Because that's what ends up happening. And then people start taking advantage of you. Because an addict is still an addict.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you got to know how to maneuver with them.
I did want to hear what you. I got something off of what you just said, but I do want to hear your story. What you was about to say, like you and your dad.
Okay. Yeah, so like I was like his therapist. So like before he worked at what was the name of the hospital before it became OSU East? Right there by Margie's.
I ain't, see, listen, I wish I could help.
East High School.
I ain't even that old, for real. I'm old, though. but
It
I
was
just-
called Park Medical Center. But we're going to say OSU East because it's 2024. So he worked in the boiler room and he worked third shift. So I used to go up there and we had access to the gym and all type of things. Like we would kick it. But the night before he would get paid, he would be nervous because he just, you know, like when you an addict and you know you about to get some money,
know what
like
you about to do.
yeah, it just you get nervous because you don't
want to.
you don't want to. Exactly.
I mean, just
but,
the fact that you had a job is crazy. Cause
Yeah.
I'm from
No, a
Springfield,
lot of I
and
think 40% of the working force is
Functioning
functioning
addicts.
Yes.
Hey man, say man, Big Kev here, man. Just feeling the smoke hit my face throughout the whole facial was kind of like pretty euphoric. Facial care is neglected throughout black men, you feel me? And I feel like that's something that we definitely need to put an end to. Anyways, man, I'm gonna give this a 10 out of 10. Y'all need to come through. Olivia, she's going to get you right. My experience was amazing, man. My beard, my skin, everything. Glowing. Overall, I give it a 10 out of 10. Great experience, you know, the product, everything. Can't complain. Y'all make sure to tap in.
I can't lie, it was very revitalizing.
I feel like I'm vibrating high. I don't want anything to come in contact with my face. I feel like my face is in its purest form right now. Very pure experience, very revitalizing experience. I definitely recommend this service.
Yeah, man. Make sure y'all come down here and get right with Olivia, man. She know what she doing. She know her sauce. She been doing it since '96, man. She specializes in all things grooming. Bro, especially if you in your bag, cause you know when you in your bag, man, it gets stressful. I mean, you don't got too much time to relax is what I'm saying. So this is a perfect time to unwind, breathe, think about your next move, and just get right. You need this service, man. Let's go.
Functioning addicts for sure. But when that money would hit, he wouldn't be functioning no more. So you talking about I might not see him for 3-4 days until all that money gone. So it's like dealing with that. And then he comes home and now my mom is mad. So now he in my room with me and he just telling me like all his problems and like everything like that. And I'm like a young child, like knowing all of these adult things that I shouldn't know and worrying about them. And kind of trying to help him, like give him advice on his life when I have not lived yet. Yeah, so for me, I mean, I feel like it helped me grow up a little faster than other kids. It kind of took a little bit from my childhood just because
But it helped you as far as like empathy. Like you could live vicariously through people. When you at that young age, because we so brilliant at them ages, like you would see a grown, you know, scenario and you could put yourself in them shoes, especially when you was being called upon to do that. So you might have been more of a help to him than you realized for real. But you got three daughters, right? Mm-hmm. How do you want them? Do you want them to take the same path that you took as far as love and then entrepreneurship and then
No. Do you want your daughters to take that path? Absolutely not. I think that I would rather my daughters find out who they truly are before they go trying to add to someone else's life.
Or somebody add to their life.
Or someone add to their life.
They could be the prize.
Exactly. So I would really rather them kind of figure out life a little bit and not necessarily rush into love. Because what happens is people rush into love and then all their dreams and things get put on hold. You know what I mean? And they kind of start losing themselves slowly but surely trying to love the other person. When I feel like a lot of us, I don't want to say don't know what love is, but we have like an image of what we think love is, and that's not normally what it is. So until you really know what that is, until you truly love yourself, and until you truly understand how God loves you, it's hard to say you should go and try to be in a relationship with someone else.
I heard this philosopher say one time, like that feeling of love that you think somebody else is pulling out of you, it's really just you. Like that feeling is in you. You just like you associated that person, or you waited for that person to come and bring it out of you. But they was there the whole time. You always could have been loving yourself. You could have always felt that feeling, but you associated with that person. And now when that person gone, or they make you feel some type of way, you feel like the love gone. You feel like you don't got nobody to love you type stuff.
No, and that's facts because of the relationship I had with my dad. Like, we were like this, and he passed away when I was 13. So I always, like, he was always my source of love. Like, he just, even within his addiction, like, he always made time for me. I could go to work with him. He would take me skating, he would take me swimming, we would bake cakes together, we would watch movies together. Like, that was my dog. So, like, when he passed away, I instantly fell into this whole, I need to find that. You know what I mean? So,
you gotta feel.
Getting into a relationship, even when I met him, and we clicked, you know what I mean? And it was just like, I was always trying to fill that void within my marriage, and it was like all I really wanted was the love. So I didn't know who I was. Like, I never got the opportunity to really find out how to love myself. So then you go through that.
When did that happen for you?
When did I start loving myself? I would say,
Or finding yourself, loving yourself.
that's a journey. That's an everlasting journey.
I feel like women nowadays is coming to that sooner than, back in the days.
Yeah.
And now it's having a positive and a negative effect, because I think some women is, okay, I see I mature faster than you, and y'all attracted it, like pretty privilege is being taken advantage of. How do you feel about pretty privilege?
It's a real thing.
It's a real, and do you think it got pros and cons?
It has pros and cons from a perspective, as this is it's going to sound weird, but from a perspective of like other women, I feel like you can walk in a room and women automatically like, I don't like her.
I
You
feel
know what I'm
like that
saying?
too.
Like, you walk in a room, you did absolutely nothing, and it's, I don't like her, who she thinks she is, why she dressed like that. Like, just people will pick you apart. And we do this amongst each other, like in the Black community.
Yeah.
Like, so you already kind of gotta be guarded. But I do feel like it's a gift and a curse too, dealing with men, because you got men that'll just come after you because you look like something and not really try to get to know you.
But that's the bait for a lot of these women. Like, I know you think you looking at physical appearance, you're not even worried about OnlyFans. I'm gonna send you the link. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they coming up off of it, but it's like, it's just, I feel like even like relationships in general is just the culture that surrounds it is oversaturated, and it's taking a lot of the feeling out of it, because now it's so transactional. Like, women either gonna manipulate you or men gonna manipulate you. Like, both sides is kind of like not on the same page, I feel like.
And then, like, I think it's so much put towards like finding someone, whether it be for the night or for your life. But like, everybody wants to like go look for their person like at the club, or on Instagram or whatever the case may be. And it's like, if you really start working on yourself, you'll find people in other places that are more quality than the ones that are out. Like, let's say you at the library and you looking for books on self-development or, on finances or whatever, you might see somebody there that's beautiful, right, that is in there also, trying to better their mental and their mind. And so on and so forth. If you at the gym, if you pick up a hobby, right, if you, start getting into certain things, I don't know, poetry or something like that. And then now you're in arenas with people who have similarities. So it's not we all at the club because we like to drink and listen to music. Like,
and I
no.
think that what you were saying, like finding hobbies or just finding yourself, that's how you become less guarded. Because when you only in certain spaces, you only gonna see what those spaces have to offer, and then you associate everybody with that. And now you thinking, oh, well, the next person could come along and be this and that, and I ain't even gonna matter no more. But once you start to find yourself and you start to realize that, you know, that's not the only prototype out there, then you can kind of, you know.
People, it's crazy how many people think like the club is the only way. Like,
Bro.
That's where everyone goes instantly.
Exactly, and it's crazy because I used to think that like, dang, maybe like I should just go too, because I was like, you know what I mean, I see everyone going, but then you realize like, nah, that ain't it, because like you say, you know, find quality people. Like I did a yoga class, you feel me? I was like, oh damn,
Bro, shout out to you, bro.
That's where
A yoga boy?
That's where niggas, real shit. Hey, this, bro,
Use that.
nothing but fine shorties.
No, that's crazy because I'm the type, bro. I'll be in the club, bro. I'm in there paranoid. I don't want nobody behind me. I don't want to go catch no ass. I don't want to go buy nothing. Like, the club is not for me. So I know whoever is for me, not in the club. Like, you feel me? So,
and not only that, like people don't understand they mark up alcohol like 10 times the value. That's why they got your dumb ass in there. Like, it's all the business. Bro.
And that's why that's kind of what I was alluding to with the pretty privilege. Like, do you see it as something that you can utilize in business?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Have you utilized it in business?
Yeah.
I feel like you got it. If you got it,
Yeah.
get it off.
I mean, like, and I don't want to use the word pretty. If you carry yourself well as a woman, right? You don't have to be the most, you know, prettiest woman out there or whatever. But are you groomed? Do you smell well? Do you speak well? When you show up, how are you presenting yourself? You're going to stand out because most people just, you know what I'm saying, don't care. You got people, you know, we talk about this in MMM all the time, but people just go on social media. One day they cussing everybody out. Then the next day they're like,
selling plates.
do you want, yeah, exactly. Do you want a t-shirt? And it's like, you know, so it's really about how you present yourself. But yeah, looking good is a plus.
You recently had a women's conference, right? And you like in Columbus, it's a lot of women that look up to you. And we have somebody on the guest who actually look up to you. But I mean somebody on the pod. But I wanted to ask you like what's some things that a woman should like look for in business or like kind of look out for when it comes to business?
You mean like from a perspective of
Like, is there any predatory things about business that women would be more susceptible to than a man, and that they might have to be aware of, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. First of all, men will slide in your DM to do business, and they don't necessarily want to do business.
Right.
So you can waste a lot of time thinking that someone wants to do business with you when they don't. When they just really want to kind of see, they want to fill you out.
And I think that's where the presentation come in, because you spoke about how valuable the presentation is. But if women is out here, you can't ask for respect if you don't respect yourself. And that's what I say. So I think that's one aspect of it, but you could continue.
Yeah, I mean, another way to protect yourself, and I kind of talked about this the other day, but you don't have time to just allow people to pick. There's guys that will act like they want to do business, but really they just want to get information from you too. And if you're a single woman, then you can allow someone to use you or manipulate you and get information out of you when they really don't have any interest in you at all.
Do you gatekeep information?
I don't gatekeep information, but I make too much money for you to waste my time. It just is what it is.
I feel that.
I'm not trying to gatekeep. I put a lot of information on social media, but I've been in this space of entrepreneurship for over 5 years, and it's like people will waste my time. I have sat down and had meetings with folks and written out a whole business plan, a whole outline, give you step-by-step guides on what to do, and they do nothing with it. So it's like you have people like that ruin it. And so on and so forth. So no, I don't necessarily gatekeep, But I don't necessarily have the time either to
I feel
just
that.
everyone who wants to talk to me, talk to them.
You got to know your worth.
Yeah.
You said 5 years. I remember seeing you at InvestFest. You was with Safari. How long has that relationship been intact?
We met that day.
You and Safari had met that day.
That day.
So you a part of his team now, right?
Yeah.
So what's going on? Like, what is y'all's partnership?
So we have an insurance company in Fort
Okay.
Lauderdale. It's called O Insurance Group. And basically it is government healthcare. And we have a call center there. And our reps just call people all day and say, hey, switch over from CareSource to O Insurance. And, these are the perks and blah, blah, blah. And then they switch over and the government pays us every month.
That's fire.
Y'all ain't out here denying claims, is y'all?
Denying claims out here.
Because insurance, I don't trust no insurance, bro.
But it's through the government. You know what I mean? So it's not like us denying anything. Like we're just set up. We're just a subsector of government healthcare.
Did you already have that idea in mind, or when y'all met, that's when it happened? Like that's when y'all start talking business and all of that?
Yeah, no. So when we first met, we were just talking about like credit and funding.
Okay.
And things like that, like for his business. And then we just developed a friendship.
Okay.
And I went live with like all of his followers and things like that one day. We got off the call. He called me. He was like, yo, I just, I got this insurance play and, people out here are doing it. They're making a lot of money, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, if you do that, I want in. Literally. The next morning, I want to say he called me at 8 a.m. with like some guy on the phone and was putting everything into play. And that's kind of how it happened.
That's money.
Yeah.
I like that you, because I really wanted to highlight the aspect of networking, for real. We STB Network, Secure the Bag, and like for us, it's not just networking. It's about like really trying to influence people to find themselves, secure themselves, and, see yourself as valuable and go secure a bag, based off your value. How do you feel like you secure your bag in like our terms of thinking about it, like being aligned with yourself, aligned with your purpose, and then securing your bag based off of that?
So I'm not a big networker.
Okay.
By any means. I don't like
You can
just
answer that, too.
randomly. I don't like just randomly going up to people and, talking to them and meeting them. I used to have seizures, so my memory is really bad. So like I'm bad with names and like where I met you and what you did. I literally just, we had some Halloween pictures in my phone and I put in a group chat and I was like, do y'all remember this night? Like when I say my memory is bad, like it's really bad. So I'm not the best at networking, so I use social media to my advantage. So I just post on there a lot and then people feel like they know me and they like me and they want to do business with me. So there's several ways to network. I say you can utilize social media to network if you're not one of those people who like to go up and talk to people. Now, at InvestFest, that's different because it's a bunch of celebrities there. And if you think highly enough of yourself, then you understand that these are people just like me. So if I see Safari, if I see B. Simone, if I see Yandy, Steve Harvey. Hey, Steve Harvey, like, you from Cleveland, we from Columbus, like, you know what I mean? So you just got to think highly of yourself to make the connections with the people you want to connect with. But if you're not a person that definitely networks well like me, then you can always use social media to your advantage too.
Did you ever find it necessary, or either of y'all, did y'all ever find it necessary to study people that was in the field that y'all wanted to be in before y'all got there?
Like a stalker. Like,
that's what people don't
jokes
know
aside,
that go into the success, like doing your homework on people who already got there before you.
Yeah. So there's a girl who became a millionaire doing credit repair. And when I decided I wanted to do credit repair, I started following her. And, I started following people who do credit repair, and it was just a bunch of white people. And I love them. But when I seen her, I was like, if she did this, I can do it. And it just really like lit a fire up under me. So I went and followed her on social media to where whatever she posts came up first. Like I don't want to see what nobody else got going on until I see what she doing, because that will allow me the opportunity to, I don't want to say copy, but like mimic her flow. So that's what I started doing. And then through her, I started finding other Black female entrepreneurs who were doing the same thing. And then they would post like, oh, I made $100,000 this month, or I made $10,000 today. And it would just really like light a fire. Like I'd be in my office like, let's go. Like, oh, we about to get this bag. So that's kind of how I got started in just believing that I could. Because when I first got started in business, I didn't think about becoming a millionaire. I just didn't want to work no more. I hated working. I didn't like having to get up every single day and go somewhere for a set amount of time. And when you talk about dead end job, that's what it felt like. It just felt like, how long do I gotta do this until I retire?
I gotta go back next week.
Yeah. So that was really the goal, and I really followed them all the way through to my success until I became a threat to them. You know what I'm saying? So now we here. And you know, some people don't like that. I got blocked and things like that. Even just reaching out and showing love. Like there's a girl locally, hey girl, she was in the credit repair space. She a little bit older than me. And I had reached out to her, like, I see a lot of people tagging you, and, you know, I'm so inspired. I'm so happy for you, blah, blah. Yeah, girl, I see you, blah, blah, blah. This chick blocked me and then started making subliminal posts like, oh, I see people, you know, in the city doing credit repair, and you better make sure you're looking at their credit, you know, before you're hiring them because people don't. And I'm like, so then I had people calling me like, yeah, she going live. And I know she talking about you. I have never met sis to this day. I never did nothing to her.
See, I hate that because it's like, you first, like we say, you gotta be secure in yourself in your bag.
Yeah.
When you doing stuff like that, it just shows that if you feel like it's a threat, you're not really secure in what you do. You feel like it could be taken. Like
your bag not secure.
It's not secure.
Your bag not secure, and the scarcity mindset, and that go back to like the gatekeeping that I was asking you about. But really, when he was asking you like how women are in business, I feel like that might be something that's not specific to women, but it occurred more with women than men. Cause I don't really see that too much with men, where we just stepping on toes and we about to go shade you over here, and like that's something that you got to deal with being a woman and trying to work with other women. And I could see it being something that deter women from wanting to be in business.
Yeah, for sure. It's a lot of female hate out here. But that's why we do things like Minorities Making Millions, or we do conferences like Women Who Win. So you can see all these women who are in our city. Most of them are from here. They're all doing their thing. They're all successful in their own right. And guess what? We can all sit down together and give information, you know what I mean? And bless others and hopefully encourage others. Like the goal is for other women to win, because I'm such a naive person. Like when I came in entrepreneurship, I just was like, oh, hi, I'm Ciera. And I started to realize like, oh, it's war out here.
Oh, yeah.
So, and then I don't like being challenged. So like, I don't like when people try to play with me or like, you know, make little subliminal posts, because now I got to turn up on you. Cause
I can tell by how you said that. Oh, I can play.
Yeah, it is in there. So, you know, that she was actually the first person to do that, but there's another credit repair girl in the city who did that also. And she was calling my office acting like she wanted to be a client, but her information showed up on the thing. And you're talking to my staff, and they're like, ain't this the girl?
she trying to get the game.
So, yeah, but
That's wild.
shout out to them.
Shout out to everybody that hate, but that keep you sharp though and on your toes. Do you ever combat that with the same level, like as far as not being petty, but like,
Yeah.
okay, I see it's war out here, bet I'm gonna be on the same thing. Like,
Well, now you're not even on my level, because credit repair is probably like the smallest piece of what I do at this point. Like, I'm a multimillionaire. I'm a coach. I have an insurance company in Florida. I flip houses. Like, I have real $100,000 days. So it's like I'm blocked for what? You couldn't do this on your best day. So no, I
That's
wasn't.
fire.
My goal was to never like steal their clients.
Do it. Being a
That's
millionaire, do it feel different? Like, or do you feel the same? Or does like, can you tell like, damn, I'm a millionaire? Like, do it? How did it hit you? Or like, what's that like?
So money doesn't change you; it changes the people around you. So what feels different is how people treat me. When I go in the bank, they treat me different. But when I'm at the family reunion, they also treat me different.
But still, still the
So-
same. See,
I am, right? That's how I feel. But it gets very tricky. Like even in my friend group, my friend circle, and people that I love and I feel like I'll do anything for, and I feel like I've done a lot for, it's always like,
They
give me
perspective
more.
on it. Yeah.
And it's like I had to get to a point. So in 2020, I started like really revving up. I started the credit company in 2019, January. 2020, I would say March, I had made like $14K in a month. And I was like, okay, I can get used to this.
Yeah.
The next month it was like 20. The next month it was like 40. And I'm like, oh, it's up. So what I do, I go buy my mama car. Like I go out and just start spending, just, you know, having that financial knowledge. But just when you never had nothing, you just want to give to everybody. So everything we do is on me. I don't care where we go. If we flying out, everybody's flying out on me. If we're going out to eat, everyone is eating on me. That gets expensive.
and that could backfire too.
Exactly. So now I'm blowing through my money very quickly because if you got it, you can spend it. And then on top of that, now I'm setting that expectation of how I want to be treated or how I'm going to allow people to treat me.
And on top of that, they celebrating or living life by your pocket standards and not necessarily doing the work that reflect that. So they getting used to not really having to do the work. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to, oh, I'm around this millionaire, I'm gonna try to be the next millionaire. You know what I'm saying? So
Nope.
it's a tricky mindset. I understand that for
It's
sure.
very tricky. So when you start to pull back, right? Because I got 3 daughters.
Naturally,
Right?
right.
I got 3 daughters. So these are people who I got to make sure I'm investing for and I'm saving for. And when they grow up, my kids going to be straight, right? So I gotta pull back a little bit. Then people start looking at you different. Oh,
Right.
you changed. Or when you say no, that's a problem. Or, which is my favorite, when I'm throwing MMM conferences and we having MMM events and we having women who win and we're doing all these things, none of them people I'm taking care of is supporting what I'm doing.
Ain't posted on your story. You
None of
ain't make
that.
your profile picture.
None of that. I've had people who I put in position to speak at events who won't even post about it. So now I'm irritated.
Right.
But I be needing to get mad because I'm always nice until I'm mad.
Like that fire.
Yeah. Yeah. So I got 3 brothers that's older than me. And, you know, my brother had got real sick one time and like he couldn't work. He was in the hospital and stuff. So like I sent some money, you know what I'm saying, to help cover everything or whatever. So when he got back on his feet, he was like, yeah, I need $25,000, something crazy. And I just was like, nah, I don't got it. And like we went there, like he went there with me, like, yes, you do. I know you got it. And it's
That's
just
crazy.
like, you don't get to do that. This what we're not gonna do.
Dictate what it is I can do for you.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
that's crazy.
it doesn't. It feels good in a sense of I accomplished this, but at the same time you can't really enjoy it. You know what I mean? Or I never really got to take the opportunity to be like, wow, you really did that. Cause now you got to keep going to please everybody else, and nobody else is celebrating you for real.
That's
So-
facts. I wanted to, because you said something that was real valuable, and I agree with it. You said, like, when you get mad, that's kind of like you show yourself up. I feel like that's a thing in business, and you kind of got to like that, like the opposite of that would be being around yes men and people that don't have no pushback to nothing that you do. Do you feel like it's important to have business partners or people that you trying to get success with that's going to challenge something that you say or?
Yeah, for sure. Like, I mean, with T and Adrian, Dre, Greg, like, you know, when we in a group chat and they posting numbers and things like that, like, it's a challenge. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we all love each other. We all want each other to win, but we pushing each other to the top. Like, oh, I just did this or I just did that. So it's like, oh, if you did it, I can do it. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's important to get yourself around like-minded individuals.
What about healthy disagreement? Do you feel like that's a thing or everybody kind of be lockstep a little bit?
We get along pretty well, but sometimes there is healthy disagreement and we push through it. What I don't tolerate is petty disagreement though.
Okay.
Like it can't be nothing like, come on. But yeah, healthy disagreement is good for sure.
I feel the same way, and I think it's somewhat essential to a growing business, like, and not becoming complacent. Like, you need somebody that's gonna keep that fire lit under you. Not necessarily mad, but all right, well, I gotta do this now. You feel me? So it's like, not the like, healthy disagreement. I wanted to make sure I put healthy there because even a disagreement, it can come off a certain way, but we don't gotta not be cool now, or we don't gotta be beefing now, cause you feel me? Like, I feel like it's just taken the wrong way, especially in the black community.
I was about to say that that's hard for black people to do on any level. I don't care what it is. Like, we could be talking about Tupac and Biggie,
And it's over with.
and it could go left, right? Cause I'm gonna go hard behind Pac. Like, that's just me.
See, I ain't gonna, you feel me? I ain't gonna take it there right now.
Nah, but like seriously though, like that's just hard for people in our culture to do. So, you know what I'm saying? That's a skill to be able to be like, that really comes with marriage.
You gotta know how to let stuff go.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Like, you could get into an argument, like if one of us get into an argument, like, we might get heated, but like afterwards, you just let it be what it is. Like,
And
Just let it
it's
go.
like the perspective that it put it, cause I'm good. I feel like I'm good with seeing the effect that something had. So if we just had a disagreement and now I see that I was wrong, I might have needed to see I was wrong. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like, and the next time that's not gonna happen, because now I know not to insert myself there, or that's not really my expertise, or like, I just feel like it's good for growth.
Yeah.
And bro, that's like being a man, honestly, your ability to not always have to be the big dog and just be able to listen. People always take shit personal. Like, I ain't gonna cap. I remember one time I was at the gym and a big nigga came to me like, hey, try to hit the last a little more. You know what I mean? And at first I was like, man, why you walking
take your big ass over
in front of
here.
the hoes? Like, what you mean you gonna walk up over me and say, but then I really was like, I looked back at first like, all right, you know, he was like, you know what I mean? Like, and then I was like, I see what my nigga, he wanted the best for me type
Like,
shit. And I was like, that's,
a lot of times it be that, like, you might, like, Kev, you ain't know you was doing it wrong. So I'm trying to tell you, but a motherfucker might take it the wrong way and look at it, but I'm trying to help you.
No, and
That's how it is in entrepreneurship though. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I say, okay, I see you doing your business. If I was you, I would tweak this. You know what I'm saying? I might not necessarily go this direction. I might go this, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, like, and then someone could get offended in that, like.
And when it come to business, it's so valuable to have already learned that lesson that you not always the big dog. Because it could be so costly when it come to business. Something that somebody said could be saving you $2,500 a month, and that add up over 5 years. And you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, you got to be able to, one, speak your mind, because that's where the discourse come from. But two, accept when you wrong, or accept when, you know.
I be wanting the criticism, like,
for real.
Tell me, even because like, I can decipher, like, okay, this bullshit. But then in this, okay, I might really want to listen to this right here.
No, for
I take
real.
it better from people who actually have been where I am. And that's on any.
See,
like,
I would even take it from somebody who ain't nowhere close, just because, like, I understand everybody got their own perspective. So, like, I still want to know what you thinking, because I can take that information and utilize
it. Take it back to what he said at the beginning of the pod when we was talking about, like, addicts. and you yourself, you took that as this is what I'm never gonna do. So it's like you can learn from people doing the right thing and people doing the wrong thing.
Yeah, I like that. But I'm saying from a sense of like taking advice about maybe parenting or maybe taking advice on my marriage. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's been people who never been married or like who haven't been in a relationship or anything like that and be like,
So much to say about it.
I think advice and criticism, you
There
gotta
we go.
you gotta kind of separate the two.
Yeah, there's
That's a
definitely
good, yeah. I like that divide right there.
advice and
Advice and
criticism.
criticism,
Yeah,
yeah.
because it can go either way. But I want to go back to like as you're growing in your success and like helping out family and friends and things like that. So, because I know I had kind of touched on my brother a little bit, and what I do also want to say is like you can give to people over and over and over and over again if they do not understand how to manage money properly. I could give you $20,000 right now. You will come back to me in 60 days broke. I guarantee it.
That's what they say. What they say, teach a man how to fish, he eats forever.
Exactly.
Give him a fish, he eats
But
more.
no one wants to be taught.
Right.
They just want you to keep giving. So that's where the frustration
wanna be
comes from.
taught.
Because it's like, I know that I've paid your phone bill for the last 6 months.
Money.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like, yeah, I just need you one more time. No, you're not. You're gonna need me again next month.
One more time, yeah.
And I use cell phone as an example because it's like something small, but it's just like if I keep doing this, what are you gonna do? You know? So I just wanted to kind of throw that out there just from friends and family as you grow that you can't take care of everybody. Period.
I read a book. It's called The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. He called it a financial thermostat. So he said, whatever your thermostat is set at, you might get a lump sum of money, but since your mentality is set at, say you get 100K, since your mentality is set at 5K, you might get that 100K and go right back to 5, just the way your habits and your thoughts is, like you programmed to have that 5K. You gotta learn how to manage 100K.
And the thing about it is before I ever started my business, me and Greg already had 30,000 sitting in the bank. And that was like, we not going under this.
Yeah, because some people look at, like he said, the 5K is one thing.
Yeah.
He said, you shouldn't even be looking to do this unless you got 20K. It's people that got 20K and they feel broke with the 20K.
Exactly.
But that's where, like, I feel like that's where you need some advice or somebody that did it before, like you. I'll be trying to lean on people like y'all just to see, okay, what's the next step after this? Because I thought it would have been easier, and it's not easier. It seemed like I'm trying to prevent myself from going back here as opposed to this is helping me go here. So what would you say that process is like?
So I would say that's where all the core pieces of Minorities Making Millions come into play at.
Okay.
Because it's step by step by step. So like step one for me, the first thing I did was create a budget. I need to know how much money is coming in and how much is going out, right? If you do not know that, you are already psyching yourself out. You need to know. You need to know if you in a negative after you pay all your bills, or if you got a little something left over to do something with. So now that you know that, you need a $1,000 emergency fund. Just
I was gonna ask you about
in the bank.
emergency funds.
You got your $1,000. Okay, now we move on. What's your credit look like? Because this piece is crucial because the credit is going to determine whether you about to get it out the mud or whether you about to get it from the bank. Because if you're going to start a business, you're either going to use the bank's money to fund and grow your business, or you're going to get it out the mud. So do you fix your credit? Yes, absolutely. That's your next step. So, and then so on and so forth. Do you got 3 to 6 months reserved sitting just in case you lose your job? Just in case your business isn't making any money for 3 to 6 months? Will you be okay? And then you want to invest your money. And then you want to purchase some property.
Let me ask you this right quick, because this is something I'm thinking about doing. Would you think it would be smart to take, say you go get some credit. Say you take like 20K just to live off, from the credit to live off for the next 6 months while you focus on your business. What do you think about that?
That's tricky.
I think all the other things she said come into play as far as knowing what your budget is, because now there's no money coming in necessarily as opposed to.
But you got that 20K to
You do got the 20K
to work with, like.
But you gotta pay on that 20K too.
But you got, say I get a 50K loan, I only take out 20. Or say, what if I take out 30, use the 10 to pay back and then live off the 20?
This the thing. What you gonna do in that 6 months? Like, what's
I'm
your
building
hustle
my
look like?
I'm building my business. I walk there every day, day in, day out.
Are you for real though?
Serious.
Because if you really can do that, then go for it. You know what I'm saying? What you got to lose?
And I'll do it too.
Yeah, and I feel like
But you got some
it's
people
different
who
with him.
say that or set themselves up for that. They get that money and they get real comfortable. You can never get comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not comfortable, bro. Like I told you, I slept today for like the first time for real in like 8 days. I am not comfortable. So 20K, is that how that's gonna make you feel? Is that gonna make you feel, well, I see this 20K sitting here. Today I'm gonna take a nap.
See, 20K, I look at 20K like 4 to 6 months. You know what I'm saying? So if I ain't working, that job would have got me that 20K in 6 months. But now I got it all at once. Like, you just gotta make it. You gotta make that shake quicker than the 6 months.
Right.
is
That,
all
you know,
I'm
it's
saying.
funny. I'm glad you said that too, though, because I was peeping, Keon, because you actually is snapping because it's about how you use your time. Because like you
Now
said,
he's gonna use his time.
that's what I'm
yeah.
saying. Like
Yeah.
I'd be like, man, why the fuck am I giving my job all this time? Like I love my job and all this, but it's like, nigga, I could be using this time to be making way more.
But you gotta focus. Like, you can't get distracted. Like she's saying, you can't have that 20 by say, I'm gonna go get to some new J's. Like,
It's about realizing what the real currency is. How y'all just said, y'all alluded to it. Time and energy is the real currency.
Yep.
And if you gonna maximize that, then that 20K could be worth 100K. You know what I'm saying? Or it could just be the same measly day-to-day check or week to week.
And when it's grind time, like for me, like I go through seasons where like I don't buy nothing. Like I don't just spend my money because I got it. Like I reward myself when it's necessary. But like right now, like even when we kick it a lot, the crew, we kick it a lot.
We poppin'.
And we go through seasons where I feel like we just kicking it every weekend. I'm like, y'all, what are we celebrating? Like, I'm not coming back outside. Y'all, I'm not drinking. Like, you gotta be disciplined within your own self. Like, even as I went back to like the budget, like, and everything I did, like I was working 2 jobs. Greg was working 2 jobs. I would sit in my office every day at work and I hated it and I knew I didn't want to be there. And I would just listen to like financial literacy on YouTube all day long and like self-development and stuff like that. And then I started to get the discipline to where it was like I wasn't getting my nails done. I wasn't getting my hair done. I wasn't going shopping. I had a bad shopping addiction for my kids because they're girls. So it's just like everything is just always cute. But like I really put myself in a disciplined state to where it's like every extra dime that I got is going to, like I'm not just about to be out here spending money to look good. Cause what's the point of me looking good? I forgot about life insurance. I didn't put that in there. But what's the point of me looking good if I'm broke? Mm-hmm. And that's how a lot of us walk around. So then I was able to build a house. You know what I mean? Move, start the business, go crazy with the business, quit the job. Like because of the discipline that was put in prior. Working 2 jobs, having 3 kids, that's not easy. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like some people don't have that hustle. They don't have that dog. Like I get that from my dad because he'd be out here hustling to support his habit. Mm-hmm. But I watched him hustle. Like he would take me with him. And, you know, some people don't have that. They get the $20,000 and be like, yeah,
It's
I got
time for this and
$20,000.
Yeah. See, and it's so crucial with women because one, men is gonna spend their money on women. Women are expensive, but 2, it's a lot of men out here spending their money on women. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a bag now. You feel me? And women know that that's a thing, so they, like I said earlier, like they using it to bait men. Mm-hmm. But 2, women be so concerned with the vanity aspect of it. Like I just seen a young girl set her last tech car on fire.
I seen that.
You seen it?
Yes.
Set it on fire because
crazy.
Didn't nobody tell you to pull up. Didn't nobody tell you that I had an opening for you. None of that. But since she's so worried about these lashes, she can't go with the press-ons or she can't go without them for.
No,
You know what I'm saying?
crazy.
Talk
And that's
about
like because he don't identify with that. So I understand why he think it's crazy, but it is a good, I would say the majority of our community identify with, on the men's side, they gonna trick, and on the women's side, they gonna, ask to be tricked on. And it is unhealthy because of, how valuable it get to people where they thinking that I can't even step out, or I can't even be me without my lashes. I gotta go set the car on fire. Like, that's crazy for real.
Listen, I purposely take my cause I get my lashes done. I purposely go in and get them all taken off for a few months just so I don't lose myself. You know what I'm saying?
Losing yourself in the lashes, they be doing that.
Listen,
In the lashes.
because you look,
Bro,
you look
it's a
better
real
with the
thing.
lashes.
I can see how you would do that. Like,
Bro,
Yeah, no,
some
I
women
gotta
don't
stay-
even post on Instagram without the filter on.
Listen, that's a big one.
I think getting lost in that's like a microcosm for, microcosm for the macrocosm. Like, you get, people get lost in the makeup and the hair and even men in the clothes and the money, but that's
They'll
not really
get lost
you.
in the girl that's getting lost in the makeup and
Yes.
and that's what's so crucial about it. Like, bro.
That's why it's important to find somebody that truly love you for you. Mm-hmm. Cause when I do the makeup and this, I'm not a big weave person, but the braids is in. But Greg don't even like that type of stuff.
Shout out Greg.
He be like, I just want you to wash your hair and blow it out. And I just want you to walk around. I'm like, I don't want to walk around like that. But no, that's the purpose of having someone who love you. I feel like he like me at my natural state more than I do. You know what I'm saying? So having that person that's really going to when you bear down to nothing. Even with the money and in our relationship and things like that, we be having to go back to, I remember when all we had was each other. You know what I'm saying? Let's not let this little money and fame make stuff weird around here, because you got that core foundation of who you truly are. But yeah, no, it's vain out here.
If you could give young women, young black women in particular, that's trying to get into entrepreneurship or they just starting, they in the early stages of it, if you could give them one piece of advice, what would that be?
My one piece of advice would be focus on what God has for you first and foremost. You gotta get quiet. You gotta get in a quiet state. You gotta get off social media for a minute. You can't be seeing this person doing this business and this person doing that business, and it confuses what you should be thinking about for yourself. So I would say you gotta get in that quiet state, come off of social media, maybe do some fasting, definitely do some praying, get in tune with who you are and what makes you at your core. Once that happens, light bulbs will start going off in your head. I say, God, give me $1 million idea at least once a week. And it be stressful. Because how I'm going to do all this, right? But that's because I know how to block out the noise. So when you take away the noise, the distractions, and you really just get in tune, you start maybe listening to some YouTube videos. I did a lot of that when I was starting out. And just seeing how money was working. Manifestation is a real thing. I have manifested everything in my life, good and bad.
It make me feel so good though, cause I used to live with Keon. We started out doing a lot of the stuff that you saying you should focus on. So it's we obviously not where you at, but it do make me feel good. Even him talking about I'm gonna go secure the loan and I'm gonna get it off of this. I think he can. I know he can do that just because he primed and prepared for that point. And it's just, I don't know, the belief in yourself, really.
I want to, all right, so look, we about to time travel right quick. I want to go back to 2012. And this a few songs. There's a reason I'm doing this. It's a few songs that was popping in 2012. We got Bees in the Trap by Nicki Minaj. We got Rack City by Tyga. We got Trinidad Chains, All Gold, Everything. Did any of these songs, all right, so in 2012, if my math was right, you would have been around 25, 24?
I don't know, man.
He put her
old
out
was
there. He slammed
So
up.
you don't got to answer. You don't
Hold
got
on, no.
2012 was a good year though. Like I didn't even think about it because we be hyping up 2016 so much.
I
But
was
2012
25.
was fire.
All right, did any of them songs put any memories in your head?
Nope.
Not the Trinidad James, Gold All in My Chain. No, not the Nicki Minaj. What?
I mean, I heard them, but let me tell you what I was on when I was 25.
Because that's really what I want to know. That was the question. Because we all 24, 25, so
Okay.
that was the reason.
See, so I was.
But you already was you had kids at that point, right?
Yeah, I had 2 kids. I had my second daughter when I was 24. Lies. I was 23. Wait a minute, I'm losing track of time. I got married when I was 24. I also had my second daughter when I was 24. Okay. When I was 25, I bought my first house.
Dang, you was going crazy like that.
Yeah. Why did you do that?
No, because I got one last question I gotta ask after you get done. Hey, Keon, you
Okay,
snap.
so
Okay.
I bought my first house when I was 25 years old. And during that time, I wasn't necessarily listening to a lot of music. And if I was, it was like gospel music. Because when I had my daughter, I got married at 23. I had my daughter at 23. I'm sorry, I was like, why does it feel like... So after I had her, I almost died. Oh. So I had what's called Press syndrome. I came home from the hospital and I was just having headaches real bad and like I didn't know why. Sorry.
No, you good.
So day 7, after I gave birth to my daughter, Greg went to work. I woke up, I fed her. I went to turn back over and I started seizing. So soon as I laid her down, had she been in my arms, I would have killed her. So as soon as I laid her down, I started seizing. And I woke up face down on the floor, rug burns all on my face is bleeding. I don't know, I just had a seizure. I just know like something was happening to my body. In my mind, I'm screaming for help, but nothing's coming out. So like I completely lost control of my body. My daughter, who was 3 at the time, called 911. And they took me to the hospital. And I went to the hospital and they was like, oh, you had a seizure. And they sent me home. So my mom get off work like, what they mean you had a seizure? Like,
And sent
you
you
don't
home.
just have a seizure. You're 23 years old. So she took me to OSU. And they was like, if you didn't bring your daughter here, she would have died tonight. So I started having another seizure. Like, they couldn't control the seizure. So basically what happened was when I gave birth to my daughter, I had protein in my urine, fluid on my brain, and my blood pressure was sky high. So I was seizing like the level before stroke, basically. So when I was super sick like that, I got real close to God because I thought I was in control of my life up until that point. When you have a seizure and your brain work but your body don't,
23 too.
that's a different level of you're not in control like you think you are. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I just got real serious about life after that. And I had anxiety real bad because I used to always feel like I was going to die because I came so close to death so many times. Because even once I got admitted to the hospital, they couldn't figure out what was wrong with me for a while. So yeah, I was definitely just kind of listening to like YouTube and like gospel music and things like that around that time. But it helped me block out those distractions. And I was able to fix my credit, Greg's credit, buy a house, you know what I'm saying, get a job. Up until then, I never really worked. Like, I would work for like 2 days. Like, I've been to a warehouse job and went in there, and on my first break, I went home. Like, I used to be queen. I'm a quit.
Yeah, I don't need you. You need me. But see, that's so crazy because he spoke on 2012 and he did his homework on 2012. But I mean, we don't even need stats to tell like the housing market done changed.
Oh my
and
gosh.
me buying a house at 25 probably be a little bit different than you buying a house at 25. I really want to know, do you think in 2024 Is it better to own a house or be paying on a house or be in an apartment?
Own a house.
Okay. And why you say that?
Because I made a post about this yesterday. But you know how the housing market is right now, right? You think it's going to keep going or you think it's going to come back down?
It's going to pop and it's going to go back down, right?
It's gonna keep going up.
It's going to keep going up. I thought the same thing. The house that we built
What?
in 2019, we sold that in 2021, made $100,000 in 2 years from building that house. That house is worth another $100,000 right now. Like if we still had it, we could sell it for $200,000 more than what we bought it for. So what I did was, I was like, we're going to sell this house and then we're going to wait on the big boom and then we'll just buy another one. I just bought another house in July because that's not happening. Because what's happening, Intel is here, Amazon is here, and they said Columbus is growing, I want to say like 10,000.
You could see it too.
Yeah, like we're going to need, I want to say like 100 and something thousand living places within the next like 10 years. Like that's how quick people are moving here. So I don't feel like that's going to happen.
You snap so hard because now that I'm thinking about it, like I think Columbus, and we was talking about like the difference in Columbus and Atlanta. And Atlanta's so fast paced, but Columbus, we got like, I think as far as inner city commerce, we up there in like the top 10 in the nation. Mm-hmm. And that's a direct result of, like you said, Intel and Amazon. But I didn't even think about all that traffic coming here. They gonna need employees, obviously, living space. The city gonna start buying homes back, buying land. Like, yeah,
Think about the suburbs. Like I live in Etna. I didn't even know Etna existed.
You know where Kirkersville is?
No. That's what I'm saying.
It's a Kirkersville, Ohio.
Yeah.
Their neighbors is a mile apart.
Yeah.
Like,
so when you think, it's like we're getting pushed out already more and more and more because the city is growing so quickly. So I've only seen real estate from a perspective of every time I bought something, even this year, the price instantly goes up. The house that I bought in July is worth $70,000 more right now. It has not been a year yet.
that's crazy.
So when it comes to real estate, like that's really where the bag is. Like if you want something to invest in, even if it's not the house that you're living in, even if you buy a double and you live on one side and you rent out the other side and you let them pay your mortgage, but like that money is continuously growing. 97% of millionaires own real estate.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? So even if you just flipping houses and you don't necessarily buy one that you're going to live in right now, you should have your hand in real estate in some way, shape, or form, getting that money.
Just one last question, because I ain't gonna hold you too long. First, shout out to Olivia. Dang, we ain't show Olivia no love. Shout out to Olivia, you feel me? But we went back to the example. You just starting out, you might be around that $20,000. You got that put up, you got your emergency fund, you starting to get your credit around 700, maybe right above 700. Do you think that a good investment at that point for those people is going and getting a house?
It depends on your financials. Like, it's hard for me to do like a general, you know what I'm saying, this works for everybody, because it doesn't. I don't want anyone to ever be house poor, to where you buy a house and now your whole check is going to pay your mortgage.
Income, right?
Yeah. No, I don't think that's smart.
Okay.
But I mean, I don't think it's smart to live outside of your means either, because a lot of times, and me and T was just having a debate about this, but like he was saying, I don't live off a budget, I just make more money. And it's
Shout out to T.
Yeah, shout out to T. That's my cousin. He's also he the second millionaire in our family. So
Second. You had to make sure that was
I'm
done.
older. That's my little cousin.
Y'all going crazy though. Shout out to both of y'all.
But no, like, you know, and I appreciate his mind frame, because when you're making money, you can say things like that. But we also have a generation of people who, if I'm making $30,000 at my job, and now I got a raise, I'm making $50,000. I'm not saving that extra money.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just living a bigger lifestyle.
Yeah.
So you have people who will live that bigger lifestyle, and I can talk about it because, like I said, when my bag came up, I started spending more, and I didn't necessarily. I was debt free before we moved into the house we built. Like, I didn't have a car note. I went on and got 4 cars. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, you got to be careful with that statement, because you can say that, and yeah, I can make more money, but what if something changes?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? What if business slows down? What if you just get so caught up living the life that you don't want to make money no more? You chilling. So, and now it's like you put yourself in a position. So, I mean, it's hard to say, but I would never tell anyone to put all of their money into being a homeowner just to live in your home. You know what I mean? But if you invest in, yeah.
Now, say you're paying a rent on an apartment that it ain't far off from what you're going to be paying on a mortgage. Do you recommend it in that
Absolutely.
case?
I'm always going to recommend home ownership, because ownership is just key to so many things in life. Whether you own your home, if you own your car, if you own your business, like, everything that you own gives you a little bit more independence in this world. Mm-hmm. And I'm real big on, like, and shout out to my brother. So I have 3 brothers that's older than me, but the one that's he's 10 years older than me. I got a 10 years, I want to say 13 and 14 year older than me brother. So it's a gap. But one day I had called him to borrow some money, and he was like, where Greg at? What he doing? You know what I'm saying? So I felt away, like, okay,
For real?
Yeah, but no, that was good. I needed that.
Okay.
Because I would have kept asking him for money had he not pulled my coat. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's your man's doing? You feel me? Like, you know what? You're right.
And that's a valid question.
That's a valid question.
Right.
We live together. We in a low-income apartment. We don't have no rent. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, why don't we have any money? So now I gotta sit back and look at myself, although it didn't feel good at the time. But now it's like, okay, let me go ahead and get some ownership, so I don't have to ask nobody for nothing. Because if you own your house and you need to borrow $100, or you need to borrow $20,000, you can pull that out the equity of your home, and you don't gotta go ask nobody for nothing. So I'm real big on ownership and not having to ask anyone for anything. I'm not gonna have to ask you for a place to stay. You know what I'm saying? Like, get your own, like, become your own person. And that's why I have my own business.
That's the biggest bag right there.
Yeah.
So can I ask you a question? What's your opinion on, like, property taxes and stuff like that? Because you know how, like, when you own a house, I mean, obviously I'm not saying it's bad, but, like, there is the cons and stuff to, like, owning stuff. What do you feel about that?
Are you renting right now?
Hell no, I live with my mom.
Okay. Well, if you were
Don't laugh at that.
No, I'm not. It was the way he said it. But if you were renting right now, you would be paying someone's property taxes. You see what I'm saying?
I feel
So,
wholeheartedly
like,
what you're saying. Exactly.
yeah, so it's like, in life, when you go to work and they take money out your check, you paying taxes. If you run a business, you're paying taxes. So, I mean, property taxes, it just is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
But
Like,
that was kind of my point. It's like, they just made it to where we got to accept that. Because that sucks. Like,
that's
I still
included in
feel
your
like,
mortgage.
I get that, but I'm just saying, like,
We might need you back.
it's
We
just
gonna
America.
need you back for part two.
My whole point is just the fact that America is just, I don't like America.
I don't like
And
it.
I understand, and I feel where you coming from, but, like, when you get to a certain level, you just play the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just is what it is. Like, you got to have auto insurance.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just certain things that just come with life.
That's where T's mentality come in.
Yeah.
Hey, you gonna charge? I'm gonna go make
just
more.
make
then.
more.
I'm gonna go.
You know
make
what I'm saying? And then Greg is to the point right now where he buy properties per bill. So, like, last year or the year before last, when we filed taxes, we owed $50,000 to the IRS. So he was like, well, we just going to buy a property to pay the IRS off. You know, when we flip that, we just get them all their money. You know what I'm saying? And now it's like, well, this rental property is going to pay for the utilities
Yeah, we got this bill
And
over
it-
here.
Exactly. So when you
Shout
start
out to
looking at
Greg.
money from another perspective, and not just like, dang, I gotta pay taxes or there's property taxes on this house. But yeah, I own this house though. So if I ever need anything, I can pull out whatever I need from the ownership that I have in this house. So yeah, you gotta pay taxes, but if you look at it from a different perspective, you don't even think about it.
That was a big bag right there.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, Ciera. We would love to have you back.
Where can they find you? Let them know.
Don't even know. I got it somewhere in here. I'll pull it up.
Where can I be found? Oh, like my
Yeah,
social.
social.
Oh.
Yeah. You talk about it. Person, dog. You gotta stay low
Look,
key.
she didn't know she would
Look,
get that
'cause
out.
I'm like, join minorities making millions. But on Instagram, I am Credit Lady C. And on Facebook, I am Ciera Credit Repair Frazier.
And make sure y'all join MMM, man.
Join
Hey,
MMM.
MMM changed my life. I'm a testimonial.
Hey.
For real.
I love it.
Testimonial right here. Y'all changing lives. All of the lives in here. We love having you.
Thank you.
And yeah,
Thank you, guys.
for sure.